of community and the importance of acquiring knowledge, and of course, the capacity for positive change. Your upcoming challenge is to acquire the skills essential for propelling our nation forward. With the fourth industrial revolution upon us, we as a nation eagerly anticipate your role in elevating our country's status, ensuring that we move forward on this very transformative era. Here I'm referring to the fields like data science, AI, machine learning, software development, cybersecurity, that these are not merely sought after by entities like ours, but they have evolved into the core competencies of every organization on the globe. Your mastery for these skills will not only shape your personal success, but will contribute significantly to our collective progress as a nation. What we have observed both within MTN and globally is a transformative shift in the workplace towards increased automation through the advancement of a confluence of technologies. This evidence is further supported by McKinsey, who reports that automation will displace around 15% of the global workforce, or about 400 million workers by the year 2030. This is why MTN, South Africa's leading network, our dedication to education transcends mere corporate responsibility. For us as a company, it represents a promise to actively participate in the educational endeavors of each learner, thus fostering their development as essential contributors to the future of our country. Our leading initiative, the MTN Online School, has now garnered about a subscriber base of 700,000 and is playing a pivotal role in advancing the digital evolution of education. MTN South Africa, in collaboration with the Department of Basic Education, tonight is proud to announce our sponsorship for the 34 top performing matriculants of 2023. This sponsorship includes laptop computers, MTN products, and a 5,000 rands cash incentive. Additionally, the top 15 students in each province will receive laptops and backpacks, contributing to a total donation value of 5 million rands, comprising of 215 laptop computers and 50 tablets. In conclusion, let me remind the Matric class of 2023 that our country, South Africa, places its hope in the hands of your generation. The world awaits your unique contributions, and I have no doubt that each one of you will make a positive impact. Ka puo ya rona ya Setswana ra re nko ya kgomo mogala tshwara thata e se re go utlwa sebodu wa kgaoga. I thank you.
Thank you for that, sir. Your commitment to education is noted, well noted actually. Thank you very much. And so I would like to move right along by introducing the Deputy Minister of Basic Education, Dr. Regina Mohale, to make her remarks, and at the end of her remarks, she will introduce the Minister of Basic Education. Thank you.
Thank you, Program Director. I was teaching her to say Mhaule. I think many of you now got the lesson, Mhaule. Program Director, thank you very much for this opportunity. Minister of Basic Education, Angie, Deputy Ministers that are present here today, MECs for education in all our provinces in South Africa, the DG in the Department of Basic Education and the DG in the Presidency and all heads of departments, district directors, organized labor, our partners in education, learner representatives, MTN Foundation. We're going to be expelled. MTN, CO, learner representatives, teachers, learners, and parents, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, good evening. Our finest hour is upon us. It's an honor and privilege to welcome you all at this august gathering in our national calendar, the announcement of the 2023 NSC examination results. Present in our midst today are learners who are the pride of our nation. The parents and caregivers, educators, principals, education mandarins, academics, and education professionals, and political leadership fraternity. Our nation and our government is proud of the class of 2023 and their achievements, especially as these are learners who have endured many challenges along the way to get this far. Indeed, this was yet another tough year where we discharged our leadership responsibilities under the able guidance of the President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency, Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, which we truly appreciate. In the same breath, we also send our gratitude to the Cabinet colleagues, honorable members of Parliament, including the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces, especially the Portfolio Committee and the Select Committees. Our education system is the cornerstone of our society, shaping the leaders of tomorrow and providing them with the knowledge, skills, and values they need to thrive in an ever-changing world. At the heart of this system are our learners, who are the very essence of our educational endeavors. They possess a remarkable capacity for growth, innovation, and transformation, and it is our duty to nurture and empower them to become active participants and leaders within their schools. Their active participation and leadership are essential for the holistic development of our educational institutions and society at large. As I welcome you today, we have triumphed against the doom and gloom that engulfed our sector during the COVID-19 pandemic and beyond. In the words of former British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, in the midst of a war, he said, "We shall prove ourselves once again able to defend our island home, to ride out the storm of war, and to outlive the menace of tyranny, if necessary for years, if necessary alone," close quote. Indeed, we triumphed, and the victory belongs to every learner, parent, caregiver, teacher, and all education officials who believed in their hearts that our finest hour was thrust upon us. Research shows that a tertiary qualification will significantly increase a person's chance of employment and earning potential contribution to better living standards. Program Director, as I conclude, the Matric certificate is the only nationally recognized qualification awarded to learners who have met requirements set out by the Department of Basic Education and Umalusi. I didn't greet my CEO and I see him here. Umalusi, after 12 years of learning. A Matric certificate enables learners to access various post-school opportunities depending on their performance in grade 12. The opportunities include entry-level employment, learnerships, and internships, and admission to colleges, universities, and other higher education institutions. For those who have passed, opportunities for funding higher education abounds. Potential students who intend to enroll at public higher education institutions can still apply for the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, NSFAS, for funding. NSFAS provides loans, Honorable Manamela. NSFAS provides loans and bursaries to needy and deserving students. For those who did not make it in this round of assessment, they should not despair. This is not the end of the world. There is a second chance. As the department, we have a vibrant second chance Matric program to help you to achieve your academic goals. To get more information on this program, visit your district office. It is never too late to succeed. You are never too old to achieve your goals. And to parents, we are saying, don't put pressure on these children. As you are watching right now, don't say, you see, you are stupid, you this, and because there's still a chance for these children who did not make it. As I declare the program officially opened, I would like to hand you over to the First Lady, a woman, a mother, an aunt, Minister of Basic Education, May Angelina Motshekga, who has over the years steered this huge ship to better and safer waters. I wish you all a splendid evening and all the best for the class of 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome the Minister of Basic Education, May Angelina Motshekga.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Program Director, Kadumedisa, good evening. Barindi. Barinkas when the Bardimacher. And the Mategwan. The Mategwan, Afshen. Kyalocha, Diabulisa, Nyabingelel. So, Program Director, let me first acknowledge that Amos in the Telisufika du Medisate Mungaswag. Also acknowledge, I'm very excited, I see all my colleagues are here. Thank you very much for your attendance. And the results we're celebrating are mainly the work that you have put in the effort. Thank you very much for coming. Let me also acknowledge, I see our partners, this is also the work, your work and your contributions that we are celebrating today. Acknowledge CEOs, chairpersons, MTN, Ralevo. Also the management from the private sector that is here, who's joining us and who continue to partner us. And I must thank specifically Mureki, MTN, who sponsored this event. I also want to acknowledge the Director Generals, the big one, Director General #1 from the Presidency, and all other Director Generals that are here at this gathering, the chairpersons and board members, CEOs and senior management of Umadus in the committee. Also, normally it will be a disaster. So I have to acknowledge you specifically, and also Prof, thank you very much for coming. Says the ERC, Babungasan Siyabonga, organized labor that is here, I met them earlier. Also chairpersons of SGBs, thank you very much. The management and of governance and leadership in our schools that are here, but most important, I'm greeting you again, our honored guests. I can't even say our children. Today you are the most important people. I don't even know how to address you, but let me acknowledge you, acknowledge the parents and also the caregivers. So today indeed we're gathered here to announce the 2023 National Senior Certificate exams. We are announcing these results very mindful of the reality that at the heart of any development within basic education is about what learners learn and what we teach in our schools. As we announce the 2023 results, cognizant of the directives from the NDP, which always guides us, and I quote, the NDP directed us as a basic education sector that by 2030, South Africans should have access to education and training of the highest quality, leading to significantly improved learners' outcomes, and the performance of South African learners in international standardized tests should be comparable to the performance of learners from countries at a similar level of development within the similar levels of access. Program Director, without any shadow of doubt, we can confidently state that in the past 30 years, we have seen progress in the sector. Government has continuously and consistently implemented policies, programs, and interventions which clearly demonstrate the commitment to expand and enhance basic education through the implementation of your social justice principles. Even the allocation that government gives to basic education does confirm this commitment. We can quickly say, for instance, from the recent State South Africa studies, we are told that the number of 5-year-olds who attend ECD centers stood at 40% in 2002, and now household survey says the 5-year-olds who are participating are at 90%. It also confirms our statement that children between the ages of 7 and 15 years attending institutions since 2009 have reached a universal access, that as a country, all our 7 to 15-year-olds at more than 98% are in education institutions. But also, in terms of completion rates, those who were born in the 50s, that's my age group, only 10% of us completed Matric. Those born in the 1960s, same category, it's only 10% that completed. Those born in the 1980s, only 30% completed Matric. But household survey again says 60% in particular of young black South Africans are completing Matric now as we speak in 2021. And I'm sure that more than 60% of young people, in particular black African children, do complete Matric. Meaning that the bachelor, for instance, the bachelor passes have nearly tripled since 2008. What is also encouraging is that also the age cohorts are being corrected, whereby we now notice or realize that younger people are able to complete Matric. And Westfield, as you will see from the results, are even 14-year-olds who are getting distinctions. But that's another story about how a 14-year-old finishes. But what is important for us, between 18 years and 20-year-old learners are in the majority of learners that complete Matric, which for us is also a very important indicator. Program Director, it has become increasingly evident for education departments the world over not to rely on single large-scale assessment metric. So that it's not only the grade 12 that we're celebrating as a sector, we're looking throughout the system how our learners and track how our learners are performing And we realized when we released the PELS results last year, or earlier this year, we did indicate that it was important to rely not only on international assessment, but also reflect equally on valid results from national assessments that are more closely aligned to our curriculum. Despite starting from a relatively low base, the quality of learning outcomes has shown consistent improvement. One of the fastest improving countries in international standardized assessments, including in your TIMSS, your PILS, and SACMEC. And the problem, as I say, is that we're starting from a very low base. And although the COVID-19 pandemic temporarily disrupted this upward trajectory, we have put in strategic measures with my colleagues to safeguard the opportunities for learners to take their national senior certificate examinations. So remarkably, the nation achieved more NSC passes and bachelor passes with distinctions than ever in our history. And these are part of the contributions or investments that government has done in the pro-poor package, free nutritious meals, scholar transport, no fees, and also providing books for learners whose families cannot afford to buy them books. The policies we have put in place to identify learners with special needs have helped us to ensure that, have helped us have become a literate nation. They can transact on their own. They're no longer signing with an X. And really, you can see that there's an improvement in terms of the literacy levels of our people in the country. Yes, indeed, challenges remain, and we're committed to confront them head on and make sure that we deal with them. Our next phase with my colleagues is around the ECD, because we have to strengthen the foundations of learning right from early childhood to the intermediate phase, to the foundation phase, to the intermediate phase, and throughout the system. And we believe that with the imminent approval of the Bella Bill by His Excellency, Grade R will be compulsory, thus giving us an opportunity to strengthen the foundations for learning. Back to the exams. Program Director, in terms of the 2023 exams, the scope and size, we presented 8,977, 765 full-time learners in this year. And these include part-time and full-time learners. We produced 162 question papers, printed more than 10 million question papers, and had more than, and produced more than 6,898 centers were running our exams. We had more than 72,000 examiners with 52 markers, 72,000 invigilators with 52,000 markers. Some of the features of the 2023 exams include a high degree of stability in the system. There was much improved data collection, data analysis, and data feedback processes within the DBE, between us and our provinces. And more importantly, The class of 2023 showed the greatest determination, fortitude, and resolve to overcome all odds, similarly to the class of 2022. And I think committees can confirm this. Weekends, Saturdays, evenings, will find learners in uniforms either going to study or doing extra classes. And for that, we're really grateful. So, the Teta Committee, Umalusi Program Director, we are happy to inform the nation that on Monday, the 15th of January, Prof. Umalusi, the chairperson of the board is here, the Prof. It did declare that, and I quote, the examinations were administered largely in accordance with the regulations pertaining to the conduct, administration, and management of the National Senior Certificate. The irregularities identified during the writing and marking of the examinations were not systemic and therefore did not compromise the overall credibility and integrity of the November 2023 NEC exams. So the Executive Committee of Council therefore has approved that I release these results today. So Akike says, they say I can release them. And it is gratifying this year also to show the quality. That this year, Umalusi approved 74% raw marks. When you say raw marks of the, that we presented to them. They adjusted upwards 9.1, and you could have done better, Prof, because they adjusted down 16.7% of our marks. But in respect to identify irregularities which have been raised by Umalusi, the DBE is required to block the results of all candidates implicated in irregularities, including the candidates who are implicated in the alleged act of dishonesty pending the outcomes of the DBE investigation and verification by Umalusi. And we will address Umalusi's directives for compliance and submit to Umalusi our improvement plan before the set date of the 15th of March this year. But we also appreciate the commendation from Umalusi in the manner which the DBE conducted a successful examination on such a large scale. This class indeed was unique in many respects. It's a cohort. It's our 10th cohort for CAPS. The age profile, as I said, it's a very good age profile. That 88.2% of these learners were between 16 and 20. We also had part-time learners, again, between 16 and 20%, they were at 47.8%. And this is very important indicator because it gives us indications in terms of progression rates, repetition rates, and it is important for learners to start and complete on time because it is a very important indicator for us in terms of efficiency. But I think more important, which was also a major concern for us as the department, these are real COVID babies. They were at the real storm of COVID. They are the group that we brought latest when we were facing back attendance. We got them to do sometimes double sessions, but also to rotate. I remember meeting a 9-year-old when I asked him, why are you in school? He says, hi, Mama, shift namhlanje. So they were on my shift, so it was not a very easy time for this group. As I say, they were exposed to COVID while they were in grade 9 and 10, respectively, placing them at the eye of the COVID-19 storm. So their ability to cope during these extremely difficult academic and psycho-emotional draining years is a manifestation of their fortitude and burning desire to improve their future. As I said, we had more than 897,000 learners who sat for these exams. 715,000 of them were full-time, and we're very encouraged that 182,000 learners also were part-time. And I can report that we even have 65-year-olds who also sat for these exams. Whilst we had 14-year-olds, we had 65-year-olds who sat for these exams, and for that we're also appreciative. As indicated in our previous year, we did also mention that our curriculum offerings are in a continuous process of refinement and alignment. Part of this work we did by introducing more subjects, so you'll see from our technical report that there are also new subjects that were presented and that these learners were writing this year. Some of our new subjects that we introduced and they had to be examined this year, they would include maritime economics, sports and exercise science, nautical science, equine studies, maritime science. We also introduced practical assessment tasks for technical maths. Our technical report has all the information on participation and performance in these subjects. Clearly, the support programs and interventions that were produced by DBE, which I'm not going to go with in detail, because I'm sure you want to know the percentage, so get it. The support programs and interventions that we introduced this year, both for learners and educators, the policy shifts introduced to mitigate the difficult effects of COVID-19, the strengthening of the implementation and monitoring evaluation of the curriculum and assessment practices, and more important, the resilience of this cohort, the stability and the maturity of the system on a rise has really saved and protected us. Again, we're reporting on Progress Learner, because again, you will recall that we introduced a policy on progression to unclog the system as lots of learners were unnecessarily repeating the same grade or phase more than once. Progress you. There are also concessions, because some parents come to me to say, my child has been in this grade, say, let me look at the report about 111 to say, actually, if I never see Muisele move, notice. So the policy on progression and the second chance Matric program were introduced to reduce the number of young people who were not in employment, not in education and training, the so-called NEET. And we will be, and I'm told that registration for the second chance program has started, it's open, and will close somewhere in February. So it is important for our learners, as DM has said, who may want to improve their qualifications, but also for the late bloomers who left school and second thought feel that I really want to go back to school, and this program is meant for them. We again report on learners with special needs, because we do strongly believe that an inclusive education system makes an immense contribution towards an inclusive economy to serve an inclusive society. So by providing learners with special education needs access to quality basic education program is an imperative, because it's based on our constitutional social justice principles on equity, inclusivity, redress, amongst others. We have, for the past few years, included the learners with special needs in the tracking learner performance in the NSC system. And I can report, and again it's in our technical report, that 5,458 of these learners did enroll, 5,288 of them did write, And 4,581 of these learners have passed. 2,000 got bachelor, 2,400 got bachelors, 1,360 got diplomas. But these learners with special needs managed to achieve a total of 2,072 distinctions. We also report on benefits of the pro-poor policy in the country. And we can say in 2005, schools in quintile 1 and 3 accounted for 20% of bachelors. Now, this percentage has increased to 65% contribution of your quintile 1 to 7 schools. Rounded. We've also looked at different ways of increasing efficiency because South Africans are understandably concerned about the efficiency of the system. Your repetition rates, your dropout rates, and keeping learners more in the system. We have put in place policies and programs to reduce excessive grade repetition, because it's also grade repetition which discourages children from staying longer and they feel embarrassed and leave school. But we've also put in place mechanisms to assist learners who are struggling to make sure that indeed they are not encouraged from staying. So these days we can confidently say children repeat less and are less likely to be in school into their 20s. But most important of all, they are much more likely to successfully complete a national senior certificate or an equivalent qualification. Because indeed, Premier, when I didn't go to, they just get discouraged. I sang Fanelanga Lindau. Let me leave. So we're really making sure that we make sure that our learners are at the appropriate age. We retain a few of them. We look at throughput rates. Again, in our technical report, Chair, we report on learners who are recipients of social grants to also see how they are performing and how they are succeeding, and I won't go to details in that. We're also reporting on learners from correctional facilities, that 137 of them sat for exams, 90 of them got bachelors, so 90 of them got bachelors, 34 of them got diplomas. Therefore, 93.2% of full-time candidates in correctional facilities who wrote the exams passed. They gave us 278 distinctions. We also aggregate our information according to gender. 56.4 candidates were girls, 43.6% were boys, which does indeed call us to continue to look at the boy child. Because we want 50-50. We were not saying we want them to perform less as much as we want girls to proceed. 42% of the girls passed, 39.6% of the boys passed. But in terms of bachelor passes, the boys again surpassed the girls. They passed with degrees at 28.6. I need one of my boys' room. So the gender roles, and they are not making tea for every visitor who's here. So they have space and time. So they got more bachelors than girls. And even in terms of high diplomas, they got more diplomas than girls. So Program Director, the NDP does recognize that districts are a very crucial interface of our basic education system. It helps us to identify best practices, to share information, and provide support to schools. And that's why it always heartens or warms my heart when I see colleagues from provinces interacting, because we learn from each other, we copy from each other, and that's very healthy for our system. Because the continued growth in the performance of districts is continuously monitored and evaluated by both provincial and national basic education departments. So the reports on the monitoring and evaluation in oversight and the analysis of the performances of schools, which are normally presented at the quarterly meetings which I convene with district directors, they continue to assist and enable us to reprioritize support and intervention programs. So in 2023, none of our districts attained anything lower than 60%. There's only one district that is at 70. 19 of our districts are between 70 and 79. And 55 districts performed at 80% and above. And in terms of the top districts, the first one, premier, is Johannesburg West in Gauteng. The second best performing district is Motshekga in the Free State. And the third district is Tshwane again in Gauteng. The fourth district is Motshekga in KwaZulu-Natal. The fifth is Fairland Johannesburg in the Free State at 89.6. And the sixth emission was Gulanga Bingelanga, it district Gamalum. Usbiya, Umuhle. Ugu in KwaZulu-Natal. And the seventh is Thabo Mafutsanyani in the Free State. The eighth MEC is Ilembe, KwaZulu-Natal. The ninth is Gauteng North in Gauteng. And the 10th is KwaZulu-Natal, Zululand at 87.2. And as you can see, 3 top districts came from Gauteng, 3 from the Free State, and 4 from KwaZulu-Natal. It's already giving a tip. The leading district, MEC Eastern Cape, in Alfred Nzo in the Eastern Cape, it's number 1 in the Eastern Cape at 85.1. In the Free State, the leading district, Tetemoloi, it's 91.2. In Gauteng, the leading district is Johannesburg West. In KZN, Babumota is Motshekga. In Limpopo, MEC Free State, Kimme Mudika at Mupani West. Tobe! Kiba bohadi bangaba ke kwata mifne ke bona next. And then in Mpumalanga Zehlanzeni at 81.8. In Northwest is Bujanala at 84.2. In the Northern Cape, it's Namakwa at 81.6. In the Northern Cape, MEC you can guess, it's Metro North at 85.9. Under Ms. Horn. In terms of provincial performances, it's just like that. The Free State is leading again at 89.0. And I think at this point, we can briefly observe a moment of silence for MEC Tate. May his soul rest in peace. In the second province, I thought, for me it was a surprise. I see surprise has been coming. The second province, KwaZulu-Natal. At 86.4, with an increased improvement of 3.4. Deputy Minister, I thought we were a national deputy. Manje ngibona regional manje now. Gauteng is the third province at 85.4. Northwest is the fourth at 81.6. Western Cape it follows at 81.5. Followed by Eastern Cape at 81.4. But what is let me finish reading them. Limpopo at number 7 at 79.5. Which I must say, MEC is the most improved province this year. It's the most improved province. Followed by the Eastern Cape as the second most improved province. Then Mpumalanga achieved 77.0%, which is an increase of 0.2%. And Northern Cape achieved 75.8%, which is an increase of 1.6%. But Program Director, when I studied this report, these results, I found them extremely interesting, but for me, an indication of a system that is rising in totality. The difference between KZN and Gauteng, KZN is at 86.4, Gauteng is at 85.4, 1% difference. But what is more interesting is Northwest, Western Cape, and the Eastern Cape. Northwest is 81.6, Western Cape is 81.5, Eastern Cape is 81.4. So all of them is 1% difference. So for me, what is heartening and encouraging is a very small percentage margins between the provinces, which really shows a system that is on the rise in its totality, so that we don't have lots of areas of dysfunctionality. So we also, as MECs, approved what we call a provincial inclusive baskets, because that's where we want to move away from the percentage passes, because they hide lots of information, which we are supposed to be tracking in terms of the NDP. And our full report has performance in terms of this inclusive basket. Which province is able to keep learners more? What are the, for instance, what are the throughput rates? You will find that Mpumalanga, Western Cape, and Eastern Cape have higher throughput rates than all the other provinces. So kids pass through the system. The other thing also that is curious, so in throughput rates, you have Western Cape, Eastern Cape that have achieved the highest throughput rates, including Mpumalanga. In terms of performance in maths, and provinces which have more learners taking maths, you have KZN leading, It was already set at 47.5% less to get to the 50% threshold. But in terms of achievements in your maths passes, you have the Free State, KZN, and Gauteng achieved higher percentage in terms of pass rates in maths and technical subjects. And you also have more bachelors coming from Gauteng, KZN, and the Western Cape. So Eastern Cape, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, and Northwest have higher maths participation, so which means more learners are taking maths. Limpopo and the Free State have higher achievements in terms of accounting. Western Cape, Free State, Gauteng, and Northwest have higher performance in maths and physical science. KZN and the Western Cape have the higher passes within distinctions. And that's the basket that we are really looking at to make sure that we don't only report on percentages as we move forward, and we are finalizing that system. Program Director, this brings us to the overall results of the 2023 NEC exams. It is important to remind the nation that for the past 10 years, the NSC pass rates have consistently been going up from 60% in 2009 to above 80% consistently in the recent years. And we want to commend the class of 2023 for maintaining this trend, despite big challenges and major challenges that they faced. So the 2023 NEC overall pass rate has reached 82.9% compared to 80.1% in 2022, which is an improvement of 2.8% when compared to last year. And Program Director, this represents the highest passes since percentage passes in terms since the dawn of democracy. We have more bachelor passes from this group and more distinctions coming from these cohorts. The number of learners qualifying for a bachelor degree stand at 40.9% from your low 20%. So we've reached 40.9%. We are shy of 10% to reach our NDP goals. In terms of diplomas, 27.2%, so which means there are more bachelors than diplomas. Bachelors are at 40.9, diplomas 27.2, higher certificates 14.8%. And those who pass with the national certificate are at 0.0%. So Genesis ningibuza ngabo nasi by 0.0%, but when aske rabu ankantu esiyo. But it is important to note that a total of 447,000 Deputy Minister Higher Education are passing in diplomas and bachelors. So I hope you are ready for them. More than 253,807 have distinctions. And again, what is heartening is to see how rural province and schools in rural areas have performed. And again, you'll get that from our technical report. So, I almost said comrade. Program Director. Program Director. So that's why we tell. So Program Director, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, there's no doubt that the basic education system has begun to reach the desired stability, and I think that's what is very important for us. which is very healthy for a large and important system as ours. The unquestionable resilience our school committee has shown against such a devastating pandemic and other challenges such as sporadic violence, delivery protests, floods in some provinces, violence, and the general moral decadence amongst our learners, such as alcohol and substance abuse, cannot go unnoticed and not mentioned. Clearly, the system cannot survive without the direct involvement of all communities of trust, not only those who are part of the sector, but everyone. As I say, I see lots of partners who've really carried us throughout our journey. The class of 2023 has clearly demonstrated that with all requisite support and intervention programs that most of our partners are providing us, we can make it as a country. We just need to prioritize our interventions on teaching and learning, support the intervention programs, and implement them across the system. So we wish to recognize the confidence our communities have in our public education system. The fact that we had 96% of the candidates who enrolled for the senior certificate, both in public and private schools, registering with the Department of Basic Education, it confirms the confidence our. So we cannot let our communities down. We must repay their confidence with good teaching and learning outcomes. The high quality passes we have achieved this year, especially the record number of bachelor's and diploma passes, as well as passes with distinction, the fact that none of our provinces are performing at a rate lower than 75%, the fact that none of our districts are performing below 60%, and the fact that our no-fee schools have contributed 65% of bachelor passes in the system, showing that there's no room for error in the delivery of government's pro-poor policies. Program Director, ladies and gentlemen, as a sector, we must continue to expand our energies and priorities. We must continue with the consolidation of programs, your ECD program. We have to ramp up the performance in all our phases of schooling. We must continue to improve reading proficiency, numeracy of our learners, the 3 R's. We must work harder but smarter with all our partners to consolidate the gains we have made in the skills revolution through the 3-stream curriculum model and the 4th industrial revolution. Amongst others, we must continue to strengthen the assessment regime in all our phases of the system, and we must continue to work hard with our partners to maintain and sustain the labor peace we have really enjoyed for the past years. So in celebrating the great achievements of the class of 2023, I wish to thank the principals. Yesterday, MEC Premier went to school where the principal, I'm told the principal arrives at school at 6:30. We really have to thank our principals. We have to thank our teachers on whose shoulders the system really rests, our support staff, and parents for the work they continue to do, because schools are at the cold face of basic education delivery. And we have to ensure that programs such as school safety, as well as care and support for teaching and learning, are prominent in what we do in our schools. And we must agree that whatever we do at the school level is what matters most. The future of our learners and the prosperity of our nation are in our hands, and we want to applaud you for the great work you continue to do on a daily basis. I want to thank the President, the Cabinet, the Portfolio Committee for the support they continue to give us, but more important for me is to thank my colleagues from provinces. They really carry the system entirely. I was an MEC, I know in provinces, they rule, you run. Not that we don't run, but I know in provinces we run. I want to thank my colleague, Dr. Mhaule, thank DG and all the heads of department from provinces. But also most important, as I said, I want to thank our partners, our strategic partners, because they really have carried us to where we are. Our teacher union, school governing body, associations, the disability sector also, which has been keeping us on our toes, our business partners who work directly with us, or also work with us through the NCT led by Dr. Sizwe Nxasana, and who's its chairperson, the statutory bodies, Umalusi and SAYS, want to thank you, the LRC, the researchers also who provide us with information, whose work we cannot do without. And I want to also thank our sister departments for also working very well with us. We want to really wish to thank our sponsors, and as I said, Mureki, I have to single out Mureki, MTN, and thank you very much for hosting us and supporting us, but also all our partners who work with us. And I want to thank our partners from the private sector who continue to support us in the sector and events. Once again, I want to conclude by thanking the class of 2023 in all our ordinary public schools, in all our independent and private schools. The future is in your hands, and I know I'm preaching to the converted again. You are not the ones that I should be telling to work hard, so I'll be wasting your time because you have proven that you are on top of the pack. So we wish you to really continue to work hard, succeed. For those, as the MEC or as the Deputy Minister had indicated, those who wish to improve their results should enroll for the Second Chance Matric program. Registration for the program has already opened and will close on the 20th of February this year. And we will definitely support you. You won't be on your own. So I wish you all the best in your youthful lives, best careers. And as I said, the country needs you. You are a cohort of young people who will be able to take this country to even greater heights and take our beautiful nation to even greater heights. I wish you well, and again, God bless and all of the best.
Thank you very much, Minister and Deputy Minister. What a great improvement and exceptional achievements we have seen in the education sector. We now move on to the next phase, prize giving. For the 2023 top candidates, in the first quintile, we have Mpumalanga, Simfolile Secondary School. In third place, Ivis Zimbusiso Chisahli. And in second place, we have KZN, Tula Bakayise Secondary School, Nomfundo Neliswa Mthembu. And in first place, KZN once more, Mandla Mthethwa School of Excellence, Olwethu Buhle Bonke Khumalo. Another round of applause. And then we move on to mathematics. In KZN, in third place, we have Westfield Boys High, James Michael Dent. In second place, from Gauteng province, we have Hoërskool Osmoed, John Hoodley. And in first place, from Western Cape, we have Rhenish Girls High School. Melissa And on to the second category. In third place, from Limpopo province, Serita Rita Secondary, we have We have Jonas Hakishi Moshabi, my apologies. In second place, from Limpopo province, we have Patrick Ramano Secondary School, Mavungu Remonia Bedzi. And in first place, we have KwaZulu-Natal, Atwa S School, Bonu Bwenza, no Twando Lwethu Njani. A round of applause for KwaZulu-Natal. In technical maths, we have in third place, Gauteng Province, Eden Ridge Secondary School, Sifanele Vincent Kamte, and in second place, Mpumalanga, we have Didi Mabuza Comprehensive School, Siyabonga Vuma. And we go into the third quintile. In third place, from KwaZulu-Natal, Spesihle School, Zonke Hope Twala. And in second place, from the Free State, Selele Kela Secondary School. Selele Kela, did I pronounce that correctly? Selele Kela. Selele Kela. Sizofunda phela. Kamo hello. Kahle Neo Mosiki. And in first place, from Limpopo Province, we have Bokamoso Senior Secondary. Bokamoso. Tabiseng Lefopana. round of applause for Ntabi Singh. A round of applause once more. And in physical science, in third place, we have KZN, Sidelile High School, Uphile Shange. In second place, from Mpumalanga, we have KwaShanga Secondary School, Begumuzi, Mnisi. Begumuzi, Mnisi. And in first place, from Western Cape, Wynberg Boys High School, Jared Ryan Ben. And on to the fourth category. In third place, KZN, Kombindlela High. Zipho zenkosi, sibonga konke, Mtambo. In second place, we have KZN again, Masibumbane High. Simlindele Thando Lwethu Khumalo. And in first place, we have KwaZulu Natali once again. Sidelile High, Uphile Shange. Another round of applause for KwaZulu Natal. In technical sciences, from KwaZulu Natal, third place, we have Indonza High School, Zethembe Lihle Mbele. In second place, from Gauteng Province, Madiba Secondary School, we have Takasile Ayabonga Zungu. And in first place, we have from Gauteng Province, Eden Ridge Secondary School, Sifanele Vincent Kamde. Sukuma kikeza mama. Sukuma kikeza mama. And on to the fifth quintile. KZN Westville Boys High would be third place, and that is Jaskaran Mupana Raj Jaruthanam. Congratulations, sir. And in second place from Western Cape rather, Wynberg Boys High School, Jared Ryan Ben. And in first place, from Western Cape, Rhenish Girls High School, Melissa Muller. Forgive me, I believe I must have forgotten to mention one learner who came first from Mpumalanga in technical mathematics. I got too excited. From Didi Mabuza Comprehensive School, Innocent Menzi Bimbeli. Congratulations. Another round of applause. And on to the South African Sign Language category. In third place, KwaZulu-Natal, kwaThintwa School for the Deaf, Asanda Mkhulu. And in second place, we have Western Cape, Dela Bat School. In second place, Amahle Jemane. And in first place, we have KwaZulu-Natal, kwaThintwa School for the Deaf, Oliswa Nkabinde. To the special needs education. In third place, we have Western Cape, Athlone School for Blindes, Nizibone Victor Mapolisa. And in second place, we have Limpopo Province, Setotolwane Secondary, Karabo Prince Motika. And in first place, from Western Cape, we have Athlone School for Blindes, Samkelo Kumata. Last but not least, we have the final category, the 2023 NSC National Top Learners. These are the top learners from public schools and independent schools. Our first learner from Western Cape, Melissa Muller. Congratulations, she is the top learner in public schools. And on to the independent schools. The top learner in this category from Western Cape is Ethan Mayes. Unfortunately, Ethan Mayes is not with us tonight. However, we will congratulate them. This is our top learner, Melissa Muller. Can we please give her a round of applause? She is the top learner in public schools. Congratulations, ma'am. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are going to introduce an artistic act. We are going to be entertained. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the entertainment that is yet to come. Congratulations to our learners of 2023. You have done exceptionally well, and you have made the Department of Basic Education extremely proud. Well done. I was never told about a comete. I would have seen a comete.
Okay, just one second.
But Melissa,
Yes, what are you saying we should do? Above 80%. So this is the highest pass rate ever. That's what we're hearing. Mathematics, that pass rate also unprecedented, huge indicator perhaps of the quality in the system. 2022, it was 55%. Now it's 63.5% last year with Western Cape. Okay, we'll move like that, Nana. Thank you. We're just waiting for the minister to
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Like I said before, we are awaiting an artistic act. There will be a performance.
I'm not in love, so don't forget it. It's just a silly phase I'm going through. And just because I call you on, don't get me wrong, don't think you've got it made. I'm not in love, oh no, no, no. It's because I like to see you, but then again
I have been asked to call the parents of the top learner of 2023 to join us on stage, please.
so if I call you, don't tell your friends about the two of us. I'm not in love, oh no, it's
Director General of Basic Education, Mr. Motshekga.
It has a nasty stain that's lying there. So don't you ask me to give it back. I know you know it doesn't mean that much to me.
And thereafter, what happens?
I'm not in love. It's because
Yeah, let's wait. How much then? Let's wait.
Okay, so after this is
The closing act. That's the entertainment. It's like a park. Okay. Good job.
before we go into the closing act, can we please have Director General celebrate the General of Basic Education, Mr. Matanzi Mamweli, will be doing the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Can we have order in the house? I can see that people are in a celebratory mood. Can we round off nicely, please? Thank you. Thank you. Program Director, Honorable Minister of Basic Education, Deputy Minister and MECs, the honored guests, without mentioning them one by one, I'm just going to carry out a very, very brief task. Let me convey our greatest appreciation and thanks to the following sponsors. As Minister has already acknowledged, Moreki Omogolo, Remula PC, MTN, Vodacom Foundation, APSA, First Rand Bank, AFBOP, Industrial Development Corporation, Road Accident Fund, Kagiso Trust, Hollywood Foundation, ShopRite, Fundi, Old Mutual. To everyone, thank you for making this day an overwhelming success. I can hear the class of 2024 saying, 2023, here we come. This class, when we spoke to them and told them how the class of 2022 had performed, they said, if you think that you have seen the best is yet to come. And I said to them, time will tell. Time has come. We are waiting to see class of 2024. Thank you very much.